Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Cabinet on Monday the 15th. The first thing I need to do, whilst there are no members of the public physically here, is just go through a few housekeeping matters for the purpose of the record. This meeting will be live streamed and recorded. The recording will be uploaded to YouTube within 2 working days and can be accessed by anyone. Members, if you are speaking, please use microphones in front of you. When you finish speaking, turn them off. Otherwise, other members or officers can't use the microphones. If the council uses visual equipment, if you are in a public gallery, they will pick that up. You will be picked up on that and recorded. Attendance signifies your agreement to this. Moving on, the hearing on hearing the fire alarm. We ask all attendees to immediately vacate the building. Please evacuate via the nearest fire exits and make your way to the community square outside the main reception doors. Are you all okay with that? You've all heard it more than once. Thank you. Right, let's kick on into the meeting. Apologies for absence. I believe we're all here, so it's all good. Item 3 is to note then sign the minutes of the 3rd of November and 18th of November. They agreed? Yeah, I'll get those signed, thank you. Item 4, any member to declare any item of interest on the agenda? No, apart from the usual ones already done, all good. Item 5, anything in Part A needing moving to Part B or vice versa? There's no movement of any item I can see required. Is that agreed by all? Thank you. Item 6, for Cabinet members, have you made any decisions that haven't been correctly notified and agreed? Anybody bold enough to have done such a silly thing? No? Excellent. That takes us then to item 7, which is the council achievement report. Who's taking this one? Stuart, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So I'll keep this introduction fairly brief because members will be very familiar with the format of these reports now. We've been bringing these through for around 18 months. So what we have here is a list of achievements delivered during the period September 2025 to November 2025, and we've set those out against the respective Cabinet portfolios, starting with your own leader and then running through. And then towards the end of the report, we have encapsulated the awards which have been won or where the council has been shortlisted during the period as well, which stretches to around 6 awards that we've either won or have been shortlisted in. So with that said, Chair, I'm sure portfolio holders may wish to tease out some of the achievements in their own areas, and we're happy to contribute to that as necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. No doubt there will be observations from people. One, I think it's a good report setting out an enormous amount of work the council's doing. If I look at purely the Cabinet portfolio minutes, items down for the leaders' portfolio, there's 2 I'd specifically like to mention. One is the local government reorganisation. That is, I've got to say, an achievement that was delivered by council officers here in Gravesham. So thank every one of you who got involved with it for what you did. The final document that went in, and it went in on time and got registered by the government, was a very good document. Not that I'm obviously biased, but I would suggest it's the best document of all those submitted. It should be the one that the government therefore moves forward with. So we will wait for their sort of wise heads in due course to come through and deliver on that for us, because it is the best document, there's no doubt about that. So thank you, officer team, for everything you've done. And obviously members had an input, and I think we did the right thing. We were unanimous in full council in putting that through, and that's no small achievement to have achieved that. Probably one of the few with such a mixed political spectrum that we've got now that have achieved that in Kent and even beyond. So that's quite a good thing. The other item I specifically would like to mention is Pride in Place funding. And with that particular one, yes, it's an achievement for the portfolio area, and it will be with the work coming through. But I'd particularly join in on that one with the MP, Lawrence Sullivan, who was significant in achieving that particular grant support for us in the council. And we need to acknowledge that it was her involvement in the corridors in the house. They've got us listed amongst the few in Kent that did get the money. We can celebrate spending the money, and we will spend it wisely. And I think it's wise that I've been given the final decision making on it as to how we spend it. Very wise decision that. But it came from work from Lauren. So congratulations to Lauren really on that one. With that, any other comments? Looking around, Shane?
Thank you, Chair. First, to back up what you said, I think, especially with LGR, for example, I think that was a feat to get quite a lengthy document together in such short order, with quite a lot of data, quite historical data, going back over some period of time, showcasing Gravesham's long history and role within this area of Kent, and how that should look moving forward. So it was a good feat. Chair, I just wanted to touch on a couple of items in my portfolio because they have been, one in particular has been the subject of quite a lot of interest in the community, and that is the former New Inn at the top of Queen Street. This authority has done quite a lot in trying to enforce that, first of all gently working with the landowner, to unfortunately having the need to serve a legal enforcement notice to improve the condition of the site and to secure it. But since that notice was done, since the enforcement was done, the owner has indeed cleared the site. And I think everybody could see that it is a remarkable difference now at the top of Queen Street to do so. And we have done so while maintaining that we would not delist it, and that we made sure that under the sort of conservation powers that we have, as it was a listed building, Chair, that it has to be maintained and rebuilt. And we sort of maintained our principles and our legal duties to maintain it, but also to make sure that it is no longer the eyesore that it once was after the fire that took place. So it's a real key gateway to the town centre. So it's important it was done, and that goes to show that when we will work in partnership, but where we need to use enforcement, we will, and we have done. And I just want to touch, Chair, on the business development strategy that's emerging. We've committed long to being a listening council, and this on page 17 is sort of the start of us listening with the local businesses and local community as to what they want to see with the powers and levers that we have. There's some key principles there that are currently up for consultation as part of us being a listening council. So I'd encourage all local businesses to get involved with that consultation, and we've already started by working with local businesses through the Gravesham Business Network. And so we look forward to that coming through in due course, as we are a borough that's open for business. Thank you, Chair.
Any other comments? Deborah, please.
Oops. Yes, thank you, Chair. Just wanted to touch base on a couple of really good things that have happened on my portfolio. One of them is the UK SPF funding. We received a total of £1 million, and out of that, we offered shopfront grants to businesses in the town centre. The first tranche was very successful, with about 15 businesses that applied, and 15 businesses were successful out of the application. And then because of that, we had some monies left that we could also open it up again to other businesses, and 12 businesses have received funding through the second tranche of the shopfront grants. 2 businesses have already completed their works. The Slate Smokehouse, which is a new restaurant on King Street, used the funds to introduce signage and graphics on the new restaurant. And then Sharp & Owen, a hair salon, used the monies for a new salon flooring throughout. And while they were doing that, also carried out additional improvements to the plumbing and bought a new set of chairs. So they did that at their own expense. Additionally, the St Andrews Phase 1 has been completed, and I know it's a shared portfolio with Emma, but it's made a massive improvement to that area. It's opened it up. It's tackling the whole antisocial behaviour that was prevalent in that location. And they have done a really good job in transforming that site. So I think that's a really good initiative. And additional funding has also been secured to transform the lower area of St Andrew's Gardens. So that's another positive for the area, especially with the charter opening up in the spring. That's going to leave a really good area for people to go and sit and have lunch and maybe enjoy the riverfront. So thank you.
Emma.
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, just echoing what Debs has just said about the St Andrews phase 1 opening. So congratulations to Jamie and his team, because it's really kind of transformed that area, and hopefully people are going to start using it. Looking forward to seeing phase 2. And then in the waste and recycling update, just all the figures are moving in the right directions. We've got more people recycling and recycling glass since we brought that initiative in. Recycling electricals, almost 50,000 items have been recycled now, so cables and any of those can be recycled. That's really good. And residual waste is down, food waste recycling up, so everything's going in the right direction. So congratulations to Tom and his team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'd just like to say particularly about the new housing neighbourhood officers. If we go back a little bit, we said the patch was so big and we reduced that patch to 400, which is the optimum amount. But what we're really pleased is the impact it's had on the ABS, because obviously it's had some very positive outcomes on that, and that's for the residents, it's really important. So it's had a sort of a rippling effect. So I'd just like to thank the team on that as well. Thank you.
I think you're using that as a point. I had a sort of an update from Jamie earlier, and one area that I was quite interested in picking up around ABS and that sort of issue. We just transferred the camera systems and controls from Medway that weren't performing very well to Swale, and numbers completely changed. Would you like to sort of say something on that, Jamie, please? I've caught you unawares. But I thought it was a really good, significant change and picks up on the ASB issue there.
Yes, I haven't got the exact figures to hand in terms of the number of incidents that have been investigated, but an absolute game changer in terms of having that live control centre. So incidents are being picked up as they happen, much better sharing with those in the town centre and businesses. And a recent example where we had a shoplifter in one premises in St George's Shopping Centre, which we obviously own and have a manager on our behalf. They were spotted there. They were tracked through the town centre into other shops and other public places, and they were eventually arrested at the other side of the town. So it just showed that live monitoring and working closely with businesses in the town centre is having a real impact. And we've also now got a comprehensive understanding of where all of our cameras are, and hopefully we'll be able to use some of that Pride in Place fund to fill any of those cold spots or where cameras need upgrading.
I think from what struck me on that particular report was when we were the corresponding period with Medway, it was been, I won't even say top end of the double digit number. I think it was nearer 20 or 30 in the period. But in the same corresponding period, we were over 1,000 instances of ABS being picked up on cameras, reported, action being taken, and people being prosecuted. That is a significant stepping up of enforcement on ABS in the borough. I think it's something that we need to take pride in. And if anybody in my mind chooses to do antisocial behaviour in any context, if we can get it on camera and we can enforce and prosecute, we will. And I think stepping up like that is a real significant achievement. So well done to the team of doing that. And perhaps we can pass on our thanks to Swale accordingly. They've done a grand job for us there. Anything else, anybody? No? All happy? Sorry, Regina.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just want to mention a couple of things in my portfolio. Sorry, my voice, I'm just recovering from cold. So, just using a low family tracker, nearly 33,000 households, sports fund being given to the families, which will be supported for new uniforms. 19 households had received already in £2,000 worth of vouchers as well. And a total 28k was provided to food banks as well. So it's really hard work for Pat, Andrew, and Sarah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Karina.
Just for the record, I think I said ABS, which are brakes. I meant ASB.
We'll accept either. Being dyslexic, I'm relaxed on these sort of things. So
we know
it's all good. Anybody else? Any other initials people want to throw in and confuse me? No? Shane, have a go. Go on.
It's ASB. I've got it right. What just prompted me in talking of the partnership work between the portfolios. One of the pieces of work that's come out quite recently with people have seen is the partnership work with the police and housing teams and community safety in regards to some problem tenants we've had. It's in my ward in particular, but where there's been a long-standing problem, but other wards have been affected. We're seeing far more proactive nature against evictions and about dealing with real problem tenants, which are, let's be honest, in the vast minority problem tenants. For the thousands of houses that we have, there are some that abuse their tenancy and it causes chaos for the neighbours. And we've seen a recent uptick, I think, in that cross-departmental working that has meant that we have tackled working with external partners as well, that a closure order was issued quite recently, Chair. And then we're seeking possession, is what I understand, which is a very positive thing. And it's a trend that we're starting to see. Eviction is not a last resort, but what it goes to show is that we're taking the issues of residents seriously as authority. So it's not mentioned in here as an achievement, but should be an achievement, showing that actually it's not one department or the other, but when we do work across council, with external partners as well, actually we can really improve people's lives. So it's worth highlighting that, as ASB was mentioned, because I think we're going to see some real benefits for that in the long term and showing that antisocial behaviour is not tolerated in this area. Thank you, Chair.
Deborah. I've opened up a can of worms here, but go for it.
Thanks, Chair. Just to actually piggyback on what Shane said, working with the community safety unit and also the police in Gravesham, there was a pretty problematic area in the King's Farm location, and that has also reduced. They've taken away one of the ringleaders of the group of youths that were causing a lot of problems, and taking him out of the mix has actually brought the incidents way down, and it's really a positive thing for the residents in that particular location. So it's just a really good job done. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I just fully remember what Deb said, actually. So I'm going to say Dot put really hard work into that and get them offenders, sort of be punished. And it's much better now, the King's Farm. I have received a few emails in the past, but recently it seems okay. Thank you.
I think we've done our rounds, so it's all good. We're happy with the report, and obviously a lot of good work done there. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. If we can note the report then. That takes us then to item 8, which is the minutes of the Crime and that's a good time, isn't it? Crime and Disorder Scrutiny Committee. Minutes for noting. Do we note that? We all happy? Yeah, thank you. So a theme developing there. Item 9, any other business which has been put to me as special items. There is none. I can't ever see would be anyone in issue under the rules. Item 10, exclusion of the public. There are none. So that's the end of the public session of the meeting. We'll be going into part B shortly.